So nice to be here with you again, Lesia, for our third edition of What's Up, Spirit?
What's up, Spirit? Nice to be here with you too. Really nice because I know that this time you're here, you're in Victoria, and it means that we're that much closer together. And I am so grateful for your energy and your presence. I mean, I feel it through the screen anyway, but just knowing that we're in the same city together again is lovely and very inspirational. So, yay.
Yay. And we actually get to connect in person at all of our amazing events that are happening this week. So
Mhm.
exciting. And I know we're going to get to that before we conclude today's episode. But what I'm curious about is what's coming up for you in your relationship to spirituality. What have you been chewing on this week?
You know, it's interesting because I don't know if there has been a lot of chewing this week. There has been a lot of, I mean, I'm going to use the word expressing, not just because it's our, theme of the month, but there has been a lot of unleashing. There has been a lot of showing up, a lot of doing, a lot of activation. And part of that has to do with the fact that this is the fourth week of a month. And this is the very first week that the Wednesday night Elevate experience is starting. So not only is there a full Sunday meditation and community gathering, but now there is a Wednesday experience, and then there is Radiate coming up on Friday. And so for me, that means two full-on events of facilitation and curation and production and participation and inspiration and activation. And then there's Radiate, where I get to be there to just indulge and be inspired by the community, offer some words of wisdom as well, but there's a lot of engagement that is happening this week for me. And so I feel like I've been swimming in a sea of ongoing bombastic creativity and inspiration. That's what it
Mm,
feels.
mm. So I want to know something hearing that, because you're naming all of the kind of efforting into these events.
Mm.
What is the experience you want for the people who attend? Let's tease out some what can someone look forward to when they show up to the new Victoria Truth Center?
You know, it's the question, the answer, I guess, is going to come from a certain perspective that I have for sure, which is that my intention, my hope, my wish is that when people walk out of an event, no matter which one it is, on which day, at which time, whether they've been there the whole time or not, that they walk out feeling happier, that they walk out feeling lighter, that they walk out feeling more connected, maybe more grounded, maybe inspired, to do something differently, to whether it's to think something different or to do something different or to try something different, um, to feel more whole than when they came in. So maybe, especially on Wednesday with the new Wednesday Elevate coming in the middle of the week, which is a very intentional thing to do, is to come in and give ourselves the opportunity to just reconnect and to realign and to pause in the midst of the hustle and bustle of everything that is going on, to just really celebrate ourselves, to remember who we are, and to connect to everyone and everything around us. So just more fulfilled, as love, as joy, as celebration, as freedom, as possibilities, walking out the door than when they came in. How's that for an answer?
Wonderful. It's great. I mean, you and I share some of the same values as co-leads of the Victoria Truth Center.
Mm-hmm.
And because we do, we have the same desire to lift up members of our community to celebrate all of the nuances that make us human. And that means conversations that explore the emotional range, and not just a focus on positivity and happy, but making space for grief, making space for expressions that really run the gamut of being human.
Yeah.
And not every day can be, rainbows and unicorns. There are days of, I had to communicate to a beloved recently, and have a challenging conversation, a difficult conversation, where I needed to ask her to stop doing something that felt harmful, even though I know it wasn't the intention. And it's really hard to enter those difficult conversations, to make space for them, and to have the person feel cared for and loved while you're entering a difficult conversation, especially when they don't know it's coming. And so I find the setup is really important, to come from a place of love and to say, I'm bringing this up because I care about our connection. I'm bringing this up in service of our connection because you're so important to me. I want you to know that there's something that you're doing that isn't landing great for me.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if you'd consider, something else that might look more like this instead of what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And of course, you run the risk of the person becoming defensive or taking it personally. And I think that's why one of the reasons why I love the authentic relating practices so much is that there's tools. There's tools. And you know that I'm a certified facilitator of this work, and I deliver it with groups of humans in circles and immersion programs, and even fun game nights that are a little more playful and lighthearted, where we're still using some of these tools. In fact, Sunday night at BTC, my colleague Bernice, who also runs Authentic Relating Victoria, gathered inside of the True Center Sanctuary, and we got playful and silly with authentic relating games. And it was really joyful to just really sit in, what does playfulness mean and what does silliness mean to you? And what we found is that the biggest hindrance to being playful was fear of judgment.
Okay.
What would you say about that? About what prevents playfulness or silliness as adults?
Well, taking oneself too seriously is immediately what came to mind, which is a judgment, right? Like it's getting it wrong, not doing it right, judgment. Not knowing how, maybe judgment again. And I'm too old for that. I've outgrown the playfulness, which is so not true. No matter what we think, so not true. Yeah, that's really valuable. The judgment aspect.
Yeah, it seemed to be the thing that came up the most in the circle. Yeah. But I'm excited to bring up these different kinds of things that we're doing for the community, that other community leaders are bringing into our sanctuary as a part of our growth, as a part of our expansion, as a part of being available to more citizens here in Victoria to have this space utilized. I'm really enjoying that.
And I love that you're talking about this, because it just speaks to the space itself. And I really feel like since the beginning of October, when you and I came on board, that the space itself, it has new life breathed into it. And so, it's not just about now how it's this amazing bright cheery yellow with raspberry trim, which you are very much responsible for, and that the floors inside have been refinished and sanded and polished, which one of our community members, Ed McLean, is like super responsible for. But that the space itself as an entity, it's almost like it's coming back to life because there's energy within it that is being moved and stirred almost every single day now, instead of maybe only a couple of hours on Sunday.
Yeah, it's true. There's vitality happening. Everyone takes their shoes off at the front, and people bring slippers, and we weren't sitting on chairs. We were pillows on the floor.
Yeah.
It was a really different way to be in the space. And I felt a lot of pride in being an advocate for that to happen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so before we wrap up and maybe remind people about our events that are coming up, and of course, we'd always love to hear from you about what does expressing mean to you and how you're expressing yourself in your life. What does it look like for you to be empowered, to let yourself be seen? What would you be doing if you empowered yourself to be seen? Let us know, leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you and follow up. And you can find out more about our upcoming activities by visiting victoriatruthcenter.org. And Friday nights, Radiate, it's a spiritual cabaret. And the purpose of it is to shine brighter together, to share the stage with singers and dancers and poets and musicians and comedians. And so come check us out if that sounds like fun.
And yes,
and of course, members always get in for free, and there is a suggested donation at the door of $22.
Right on.
Yeah, right on.
And then, yeah, I mentioned it earlier, but tomorrow night, Elevate, the very, very first one, which is a brand new weekly midweek pick-me-up that we are offering. Musicians are practicing, greeters are ready to welcome people with open arms. There are little things and like nice things and valuable things and inspirational things that are sort of being planted in the space to have it sort of grow and be more inviting and more welcome, and just all sorts of energy and connection and engagement and opportunity to just really build community together. So I am super excited that that is finally starting tomorrow night. And so look forward to offering up another way to really experience spirituality, to really embody it in whatever way that works for you. So come and join us, elevate with us, radiate with us, meditate with us on Sunday mornings. There's so
Wonderful.
many, a buffet, a spiritual buffet to choose from.
That's right. Perfect, Lesia. So wonderful to meet you here again in this space, in this virtual space. And to anyone listening and watching. We'll have more to share next week as we continue to grow and evolve into a bigger community with love.
Always with love. Bye.
Bye.